All right. Hey everybody, this is Stephen Butler back with another video, and this time I'm going to be talking about a character that you may or may not know anything about. Some of you probably will, a lot of you probably won't. This is an old character, old comics character from the 1980s. His name is Jon Sable Freelance. He is like a mercenary, very much in the mold of the old. I don't know if you would even know who this guy is, but he's a Mac Bolan, the Executioner, from the old paperback novels. He's a mercenary for hire, and this is a piece that I just did last night. Jon Sable is the creation of Mike Grell, who is he's up there in my very high echelon of comic book creators. I've followed his work ever since I first discovered his work on the Legion of Superheroes for DC Comics way back in like 1973, 4, or something like that, and followed it on pretty much everything else that he did. He's one of those artists that I would literally follow whatever he worked on. Usually followed him. He stayed at DC Comics for many, many years. He did a book called The Warlord for DC. He did some Green Lantern, Green Arrow comics, but The Warlord was his own creation. Started that in like 76, I think, and went on for, oh man, I don't know how, over 100 issues. He didn't do all of them, but I know he did at least the first 50, 60 maybe issues. And after he left DC Comics, he went to the independents. In the early 80s, the independent saw the rise of the independent comic book market. That's when the direct sales market started booming. Comic shops started opening up all across the country, and a lot of new independent companies came around. He did a book called Star Slayer. It was one of the first independent books to come out from a company called Pacific Comics. They did some great stuff, but they just didn't last very long. And Star Slayer was of note because it had a very unique backup feature in it called the Rocketeer, and I think pretty much everybody knows who he is. But that's where he got his start. And then Mike Grell did this book for First Comics. And I want to show you some of the issues that I have here. This is the first issue of Jon Sable Freelance, and the cover is just totally awesome. It grabbed me and wouldn't let go, and still to this day. You think of, and here's issue 2. I got most of the early issues. I don't have all of them, but I have most of the early issues. You might think, oh, he's just another Punisher type, but no. Jon Sable is a much deeper character. In fact, he's one of the more deep, tragic, flawed heroes. You could call him an anti-hero, but I don't think so. He does take a lot. He is a mercenary, and he hunts people, and so he's not like Batman and won't kill. He doesn't have that kind of a thing going for him. But what you will find in this comic series is really great storytelling, really deep characterization for not only Jon Sable but his supporting cast of characters. That's a really cool cover. It came out in 1983. This was around issue 7, probably around 1984 when this came out. It was a very bold move to have just something in just complete black and white with red on it. That's really cool. But I love all of these covers. He was Mike Grell still to this day is a comic book idea generator and just a visual genius when it comes to laying out these covers. So it's been a while since I've read these, but I did a commission with him on it. Man, that's a nice cover right there. I love that. I love the cool colors here against the hot colors up here. That really pops. Triptych, really cool. This is another character of his that that has spun off into her own her own series, her own thing called Maggie the Cat, and this was her inaugural appearance, I think, was in this issue. So that goes all the way from 1 to 11, and then I skip to issue 42. Grell was still working on it at this time, but you can see he was doing a little bit of a different look, more of a posterish kind of look. And he's got this Mauser, German Mauser pistol that that was his signature gun. A lot of characters seem to use those types of guns back in the 70s. It seemed to be a favorite weapon of several. The Rocketeer had one. There was a character called the Manhunter that was created by Walt Simonson and Archie Goodwin. He had one, and then there was a guy named Mike Mauser he was like a plainclothes detective guy. Then he appeared in E-Man comics, which was also published by First Comics. So that was obviously a connection there. And I know that there were other characters that used Mausers. Those are just the ones that come to my mind from the start. But it seems like he used it more than anything. It was like his signature weapon. And then fast forward to the early 2000s. I think this was 2004, 2005. He brought Jon Sable back to IDW Publishing, and this was like I don't know, I don't have every issue, but it's an awesome story with great, fantastic, I love these covers, fantastic artwork on the inside. Well, this is kind of bloody, but this is kind of the stuff that happens in books like these. Great artwork on the animals that he has in there. But anyway, just a really cool series. I've got the first 3 issues of it, but it continues on. I don't have those, but the last one I'll show you is this one. It's a collection of the first 5 or 6 issues of Jon Sable Freelance. So anyway, if you've never heard of this before and you're like really interested in this type of thing, Mike Grell, this is not a superhero book. Mike Grell said that one of the reasons why he wanted to do this is because he wanted to get away from the spandex superhero wearing characters and get into something that was more reality based and more into that hard hitting pulp type storylines that he was so into himself. And man, he really did a good job with this. So, and you can find these pretty affordable at pretty much anywhere you go. You could probably find them in the bargain bins, truth to tell. But don't let their cheap price fool you. This is one of the best series that I've ever read. So I highly recommend it. So do yourself a favor, if you want some good comic book reading, check out Jon Sable Freelance. And this here that I finished up, it's not a commission, it's going to be a gift, and I might tell you about that a little bit later on. But I had a blast doing this. Every time I draw one of these characters, it always makes me want to go back and read the adventures, and this one is no exception. I had to go back and reread the Jon Sable books, and I'm glad that I did. It's really cool to revisit something that you loved so much growing up. So anyway, that's about it for me. Hope you guys are doing great. As for my channel, I'm trying to do more videos, trying to post more. So if you will, do me a favor, hit the like, share, and subscribe buttons, and get the word out that I'm doing these. I'm going to be doing some drawing videos, but I'm also going to be doing some videos talking about the kind of comics that I particularly like. Maybe like this one, talking about some obscure characters that you might not know about. And some of you might. If you do, let me know about it. Let me know in the comments below what you think about Jon Sable Freelance, what you think about Mike Grell's work, and let's talk. Anyway, thank you again for watching. We'll talk to you later. Take care. Bye.